Nobody is marching with tanks into your city. No army is moving down the highway. No soldiers are crossing the border. And yet, your city is being wiped out. The power grid fails in the middle of the night. A fuel depot explodes across town. Air defenses suddenly begin firing into the dark sky. You look up expecting bombers. There are none. No jets, no aircraft. Just a strange buzzing sound. Small dots appear above the city. Dozens of them. Missiles launch to intercept them. Explosions light up the sky. But while everyone watches the drones, the real strike is already coming. And by the time they arrive, the defenses are already exhausted. War has entered a new phase. You haven't noticed yet. So did millions of others across the globe. War, in your mind, has always meant movement. Armies advancing, tank columns pushing forward, cities falling after ground battles. That model defined wars for decades. In 1991, during the Gulf War, hundreds of tanks rolled across the desert toward Kuwait. In 2003, American armored divisions drove straight into Baghdad. War meant territory. You captured land. You held it with soldiers. But look at the wars unfolding today. Entire cities are being attacked without a single tank crossing the border. The battlefield has moved upward, into the sky. Russia understood this quickly in Ukraine. Instead of relying only on aircraft, Moscow began launching large numbers of one-way attack drones. Many of them were Iranian-designed Shahed 136 drones. They fly low, carry explosive warheads, and they are launched in groups. Their only goal is to overwhelm defenses. By late 2025, Russia was launching hundreds of drones in a single night, sometimes paired with dozens of missiles in the same attack. That combination changed the entire equation. Air defenses suddenly faced a dilemma: intercept every drone and quickly run out of missiles, or ignore them and risk critical infrastructure getting hit. And that exact tactic has started appearing elsewhere. Iran has used large waves of drones across the Middle East. Those targeted military bases and oil infrastructure in attacks designed to saturate air defenses. This is the new pattern of war. You don't send tanks first. You send machines, hundreds of them. And once those defenses are busy, the real strike begins. You don't hear jets. You don't see missiles. Sometimes you don't even know the weapon is coming until the last few seconds. A small drone suddenly dives toward a vehicle. Fast, direct, precise. That's an FPV, first-person view. Originally built for racing, pilots fly them using goggles that show the drone's live camera feed. It feels like a video game, except that the drone is carrying explosives and the battlefield is real. These drones are small, some weigh only a few kilograms, but they can destroy armored vehicles, artillery, and supply trucks. They attack weak points, the roof of a tank, an open hatch, the engine compartment. One direct hit can disable equipment worth millions, and that's exactly what started happening in Ukraine. Both Ukrainian and Russian units now deploy large numbers of FPV drones along the front lines. Drone operators sit miles away. They watch the battlefield through screens. The moment a vehicle moves, the drone launches. Within minutes, it reaches the target. The pilot guides it straight into the vehicle. The signal cuts. The explosion follows. Entire armored columns have been stopped this way. Artillery pieces have been destroyed moments after firing. Even trenches are no longer safe. Soldiers now spend hours hiding under nets, camouflage covers, or underground shelters, because drones are always watching. And this is forcing armies to adapt quickly. Look at the vehicles appearing on the Ukrainian battlefield today. Many tanks are covered in metal cages. Some carry thick steel frames above the turret. Others have improvised barriers welded onto the sides. These structures are meant to stop incoming drones from striking the most vulnerable areas. They look unusual, almost improvised, but they reflect a very real problem. A weapon that costs a few $100s can destroy equipment worth millions. And once that equation appears on the battlefield, tactics start changing immediately. Instead of protecting tanks from other tanks, armies start protecting them from something much smaller, way faster. and almost invisible until the last second. And that brings us to the next transformation: artificial intelligence. Modern attacks are no longer single weapons. They are coordinated networks. Drones find targets, satellites track launches, algorithms process the data, missiles strike minutes later. You saw this clearly in the recent US operation against Iran. On February 28, 2026, during Operation Epic Fury, American forces used a mix of tools in one coordinated strike. Low-cost suicide drones called Lucas were launched with traditional weapons. Each drone costs about $35,000, designed specifically for large-scale deployment. Once targets were identified, Tomahawk cruise missiles followed. They strike launch sites and command centers hundreds of miles away. Artificial intelligence tools helped process surveillance data and coordinate strikes faster than human analysts alone. Satellites detected missile launches in real time. Cyber units disrupted Iranian radar systems. Then, precision strikes destroyed missile launchers and command facilities. Over 1,700 targets were hit during the campaign, many without deploying ground troops. But it's not only about a layered system. Something else probably matters even more. For decades, military power meant expensive machines, advanced fighter jets, highly engineered tanks. But those weapons take years to produce. Drones change that equation. They are cheap, fast to build, and they can be produced in massive numbers. Look at Ukraine. Both Ukraine and Russia now manufacture thousands of drones every month to sustain battlefield operations. Entire units exist just to launch them. If one fails, launch 10 more. The United States is walking down the same path. The Pentagon recently launched the Replicator Initiative. The program is built to produce thousands of autonomous drones within 2 years to counter China's military buildup. China has also adopted the strategy. China's military, the People's Liberation Army, PLA, has spent years testing drone swarm tactics to overwhelm air defenses. Iran has also found it wise. Instead of relying on aircraft, Tehran invested heavily in cheap, one-way attack drones. The most famous is the Shahed 136, a loitering munition designed to fly hundreds of miles before diving into a target, and Iran uses them in waves. This is the real arms race now. Not who has the most advanced weapon, but who can produce the most machines the fastest. If wars are now fought by thousands of machines, who actually wins the next war? Man or machine? The strongest army or the fastest factory? Tell us what you think. Stay tuned and subscribe. A lot more is coming.